button. Please unmute yourself and confirm me that you can hear me well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for your confirmation. So anyone here attending for the first time? It's your day one or something? All right. So I believe that this is gonna be...
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, my name is Umme Jannat, and I'm attending as a first time. This is my
Okay.
first time. I'm a new student. Yeah.
Okay. Ume, so quickly introduce yourself from where you are connecting, Ume, and what is your educational background, and in case you have at all any experience prior,
Okay.
so you can share that.
Okay.
Over to you, Ume.
Okay. Yes. So my name is Umme Jannat. I'm currently living in Dallas, Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I have completed my bachelor degree in agricultural science. And yes, I have some little experience. I did a project which is more than 6 months, but that was in 15 months before, because I have a baby, so I just gave birth 16 months before. So I had to just skip my project from that time, 2022 February. Yeah, so just that's why I want to brush up myself, because I don't have any like training
Technical.
experience about business analysis. So that's why
All
I
right.
just
And
want to brush up myself.
what's your educational background? You said
Bachelor degree
yeah. So in what? Bachelor's in what?
in agricultural science, bachelor
Agricultural.
BSc in
Okay.
agriculture. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Ume. Welcome to Guru Schools. Anyone like here for the first time, like Ume, attending is your day one? I believe it's day two for all of us. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Please type in the chat window. Welcome, Ume. Welcome to Guru Schools, Ume. We will going to get started. And I believe that you went through the last recording, the day one, which I think you missed. Yeah. Ume?
Yes, that was in 4th of September before I enrolled. Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. So what you know the drill. So how do we start? Just I'm going to quickly share my screen to you all, where I'll be sharing a quick reminder that's going to be context that how we are going to remain connected, because this is going to be a 2 months long journey, and where you need to have really have focus that will help you to get placed faster. And that's the reason I'm going to share my screen. Please confirm if you all can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. The very first one,
Yes.
code of honor, to which we call it as a showing up live. Why showing up live, and why need to practice it over here? Because Agile is full of ceremonies, and ceremonies means meetings that requires you to be on time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed. Who needs to take responsibility of it? As a future Scrum Master, you should be very much close to this, very much well aware with this, so that once you get placed, it will be quite easy as a habit for you to practice and replicate over there once you get placed. And that's the reason you need to practice it over here. That's number one. And second, there is one universal law that says that, how you do anything is how you do everything, that I have learned from one of my mentors. The second code of honor that says that, okay, because you are in this journey, some of you are aware of this technology of business analysis, agile, and scrum, and some of you are fresh with this, and that requires you to relearn. And learning or relearning makes you a student, but we don't want you to be a student. Then what? You need to be full stack student. It means what? The one who does all the assignments on time, does self-research, and repeat what they learn. Okay, if you do that, makes you a full stack student. And third, to do so, it really require you to take the full responsibility of it. When you do so, you hit the success. And there is one hidden element into this, that what you start, that you finish. That's number one element part of success. And in case you don't follow, automatically you hit failure. But why to take the full responsibility of your own failure? The taking full responsibility of even failure give you chance to, correct some wrong decisions, or correct it well, so that ultimately you will hit back to success. And there you find that failure was not a failure, but it became the trail to the success. And to do so and achieve at this level, it really requires one of the element and the hidden secret that on day one I had shared with you, require a concrete mindset that is a compilation of having the Kaizen, means continuous improvement coming from the lean management. And in a nutshell, means you need to inculcate the continuous learning mindset, and more learning minded you become, you will find yourself going more positive minded. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself going more complaint free, and more complaint free you will become, you will find yourself getting loaded in more gratitude that leads to happiness. Why it is needed, I'll be talking about it in the next code of honor. And the fifth one, to do so and achieve this, you really require to increase your receptivity from the moment you start your day. And for that very reason, I generally recommend you all to participate in a 30 days audio program. That is one of the one of the audio link that I generally share with those people who really want to participate into this 30 days audio challenge. And by participating into it, you will see that how every single day of your every activity of your day will get impacted positively. Many have already experienced it, and as this is not mandate, this is just an option. Ask me for its link after the session, DM me, and I'll be happily share the link with you. The second one, this is the one method. The second, because you are taking a deep dive into deep learning, you need to follow some structure. And for that, I generally recommend you to follow golden quadrant of learning. In case you are learning anything in this entire world, follow this, and you will see this is helping you to retain the information for longer, and gradually makes you expert into it. So what is this framework is all about? It starts in 4 steps, that you first declare what you need to learn, and then put anchor with it, and then take a deep dive into deep learning. And once you have learned it, after 24 hours, you are going to get pen and paper physically, and draw as a notes whatever you have learned. You can utilize this format like mind map to scribe whatever you have learned on the previous day. And once your notes are ready, you are supposed to summarize whatever you have learned in less than 90 seconds, and explain it back in a video form, in a way that even 5 years old can understand. Why this is all is required? Because that is preparing you for your next version, for your next future, where you will gradually evolve as an expert into the topic. That's the whole idea behind it. And where you need to post that whatever you have recorded, that you need to post back into the WhatsApp group itself, where you can assess yourself how you have evolved further. Okay. And you are taking the charge and control of the topic gradually, that you will be able to witness. So having said so, let's get started, because we are taking a deep dive into deep learning by declaration with the anchor. Hope you all can see the statement that I have selected on your screen. Can you all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Yes, sir.
how we are going to do that? We are going to put the anchor. Anchor is what? At the count of 3, I will just going to give a self high five that you are going to model from me. So I'll just say that, and then I'll repeat the sentence, and you are going to repeat after me. Okay. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
A quick learner.
I'm
What
a quick
others-
learner.
Others can learn and master. 2 can do that. I too can do that.
Please repeat that.
What others can learn and master, I too can do that.
If
One more time. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm
Because
also
I'm
learning.
also learner.
Today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
Yes, please repeat that. Who did not repeat it? Today's learning is going to be.
Today's learning is
Today's
going
learning
to
is
be
going to
super
be
easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. But remember, few of you could not do that because you need to be a giver on this way. And what you need to give away? You need to give away for the very first time. Few of you could have found itself going a bit awkward. But trust me, this is the framework if you will follow. And because many of you are coming, few of you, I know that coming from the 26 years of, vast experience in IT already, and you are here just for the sake of getting placed and following the first pillar of the Guru School. In fact, you don't need to wait, but in case you have landed up, you need to keep ego away on the path of learning. And why? Because that keeps you spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When I say spiritually grounded, means your happiness level increases, and happiness level happiness level is new productivity in the corporate, and that is the demand of the corporate. And while you are earning while you are learning already, while you are earning already, you must have an intention to grow those earning. And how you can do that? By there is a simple theory or simple universal law that says that when you give, you grow. So why not to give away 5% or 10% of your earning in a charity? Charity can be the any cause that you believe in, that you can give away to feed the hungry children, or in old age home or orphanage, or donate back into some other causes. Even if you can donate, feel like giving away into temple, churches, mosque, or gurudwara, wherever you believe in. Why? You know the drill by now, that when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that you are not here just for the survival, but for the growth as well. And while you do so, just don't give away for the sake of growth, but also to inspire others. And as I say, that while you do so, keep appreciating what you do, what others do for you, and even what does not favoring you and not happen to you in favor, continue to appreciate that, because what you appreciates you back. Just give me a second. In case you feel like contributing when I am asking you some question and you are answering, I would recommend you to keep yourself unmuted, else you can go muted. Okay. And this is a quick sharing with you all that how we are going to get connected. Sunday technical session 10 p.m. EST, Monday technical session 10 p.m. EST, Tuesday you need to attend every single Tuesday RRP session. In day one, very well I have explained, I'm not going to go in detail of it. You are just going to connect with the trainers only for the training purpose. Anything other than training, your HR is the first point of contact. In case your HR is also not able to respond for something, you need to hop inside in the RRP session. It is a multiple purpose. First, of course, it is for reference ready resume preparation. There also you get time to connect with your HR and the founder of Guru School, Devji. And why you are recommended to attend that? Because that enhances your visibility in Guru Schools, that installs your credibility that you are not here for training, but you are here for getting placed, and that pushes the entire RRP team for the marketability. And the Wednesday, you are going to submit your assignment, what you have learned from Sunday. Thursday, you are going to again repeat the RRP session. Yes, you may ask that why you need to, because you need to, repeat it. That's the format that only creates these 3 rules under RRP for you, so that your marketability will continue to get pushed. And the Friday, you are going to do the assignment back of what you have learned from Monday. And Saturday, you can choose to relax or just research whatever you want to take the topic into more detail and repeat whatever you have learned, or you can prepare any question that you have learned that you want to ask on the next technical session on Sunday. This is how we are going to get connected, and these are our values, and these are days we are going to get connected. Do we all agree with this? Any question around it? If not, we will take a deep dive into the deep learning today. So Do we all agree with this code of honor and the days?
Yes.
Say yes.
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 Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much, everyone.
Yes.
So by now, you know the trainers, co-trainer structure I had shared in the past, and let's take a deep dive into today's subject. Let me quickly, bring the slide for you. If you remember, last time we just touched base, the topic of introduction of Agile, as well as, wait a second. Okay. Yeah, Agile as well as business analysis. Let me quickly share my screen now so that it will be quite useful for you to, see what we are going to learn today. So before we begin, let me quickly share back the screen of the structure, what had been the syllabus. So this had been your syllabus, and still we have added 2 extra weeks into that, so that we can give you some extra loaded information that is going to be more useful for you. And having said so, the trainer and co-trainer, I am one of the trainer, another co-trainer is Prerna. And last time, do you all remember we talked about what is Agile and what is business analysis, a quick comparison, and we talked about some more thing that uh, you know when we talk about agility, we need to be a little bit flexible and all. So if you don't remember, let me bring this slide. I think I have brought the slide in front of you. Yeah. So when we are talking about agility, the whole idea and purpose is behind this is a quick delivery of software. So my question to you all is that whenever you go to service center for anything, um, how well you want your vehicle to get delivered. Should it take a day 2 3, or it should happen on the same day? The first way of saying
Same day.
same day. So that's the quickest way. So likewise, it was quite quickest. Agile software delivery has taken up the recognition, because the whole idea behind is that quick delivery. That happens with the few things, but when we are talking about agility, let's not confuse it with the flexibility. And why you need to learn about flexibility, because using term agility, you should be very firm what you need to consider and what you need not to consider. So you see here the 3 elements inside agility is that agility has to be time box. Time box means in a compartmentalized way, duration is fixed, and you are fast moving, reacting quickly. You are going more quick responsive based on the changes, and then you are delivering the software. When we are talking about flexibility, it has no time bound. Okay, it goes in its own way, steady move, and it has a delayed reaction. Okay, so that's a quick difference between agility and flexibility. Having said so, let's understand more idea about agility. Agility, as I keep on saying about agility is a way of software delivery. Agile is a methodology. Let's learn about how agile has evolved. So we will be talking about its evolution. So
Gaurav, I would just like to add here something, if you don't mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
guys, why this? You might have feel that agility, flexibility, it all sounds same, and why so much of emphasis on this? We have a couple of slides on this. So basically, it's a trick question in interviews. Okay, trust me, they do ask this many times. So the interviewer might ask you, is agile and agility and flexibility same, or what? How you differentiate? So focus on what Gaurav is trying to explain, because they do sound similar, they feel similar, their way of work is similar, but small, I would say pointers like time bound, goal focus. So all these are very important, and that sets the agility apart. So I'm just trying to emphasize on the importance of this topic. You might feel this might not look that important, but it is. And then tomorrow when you go in actual industry, you work, that time you realize it far more. But this is also one of the very favorite questions of interviewers, just to ensure, just to check your depth of your knowledge. So please focus on that. Yeah, Gaurav, please go on.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for adding this. Appreciate that. So, guys, let's understand about how modern agile, what all revolves around the modern agile. So, I'm going to just flip my slide and bring in front of you. What you see on the screen, the whole idea behind is that make your teammates and all the people, stakeholders involved into the project, make them feel awesome, deliver the value continuously. Don't just deliver the software, deliver the value around it. So what are the values? So that we will be learning very, very soon. Make safety a prerequisite. Means when you are moving into faster delivery way, go safe. Okay, that's the another idea. And experiment and learn rapidly. That gives you open hands. Agile gives you open hand to do some experiment. Just don't go in blindfolded way and deliver the software. You can experiment something and learn from those experiment and adapt into the next portion of the delivery. Having said so, let's understand the introduction part of it. And for that, I want someone to volunteer, unmute yourself, and just read the first two bullet points for me, please. Anyone?
I can do that.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to do that, it's fine.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So here we are talking about Agile, the introduction of Agile. The history of Agile is that in 2001, the Agile used in Agile Manifesto, early 2017, that is...
Early 2000, okay?
Okay, early 2000s.
Let me fix the typo. Yeah, go ahead.
How do we pronounce this? SW is the software.
Software developers brainstorm and
software developers brainstorm and recognized the need of Agile is cumbersome software versus lightweight software and the early feedback.
Yeah. So can you also go ahead with the third bullet point, please?
Sure. So if we talk about the Agile evolution, in 1990s, the approaches were changing and the methods were changing as well. The common practice was identified, led to the need of Agile. As we can see that the software development lifecycle, SDLC, and the next step is like pair programming, the next is Agile, the next is Kanban, and the scaled Agile as well. So if we say that where Agile works, so when a customer is ready to accept small pieces of the large application to keep their customer, I'm sorry, is the slide ended?
Yeah, so here where Agile works, when customer is ready to accept, are you able to see that or not?
Yeah, I read out that one, that where Agile works, that when the customer is ready to accept the small pieces of the large application to keep their customer
Hooked.
Okay, I couldn't see the whole
Hooked
slide.
until it is ready to be used.
As a whole. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Dhruvi, for reading this out. So let me quickly sum up what Dhruvi has read. So how it all happened together. Here it was talking that it was in early 2017 software developers started brainstorming and recognized this, that, okay, there is a need of a new way of agility, new way of delivery. Why did they even come together and why did even they brainstorm together? So this idea arose because, the earlier way of software delivery used to be a time consuming and excuse me, guys, they used to take time, when it comes to responsiveness. responsiveness. Okay, and those used to be a quite, you know, heavy software. I don't know how many of you remember that in early 90s there was a way the software used to even the operating system used to be quite bulky. Any one of you remember here when you used to transfer a file from one drive to another drive, sometime it used to take a days or two, and you know, you used to just see that, you know, the transfer of the folder used to happen, transfer of the file from one directory to another directory. It was just showing and showing, and it used to be time consuming. Do you all remember that? Anyone
Yeah, I
over here?
remember that one.
Yeah, yeah, I can. Yes.
Okay, so this used to be a way, and to address those all toughness and, you know, address those things, you know, these people had to come. But was that only the reason? No, that was not only the reason. Then what was the reason? And for that very reason, I'm going to share a whiteboard and something on that for you. Let me quickly bring that. So how it used to happen, customer used to approach vendors that with their need, to which we used to call it as a requirement. What we used to call it as, everyone?
Requirement.
And vendor used to gather them. Requirement gathering used to be very first stage. Okay, and while requirement used to get gathered, you know, considering the entire thing that vendors has requires to develop them, then it used to be documented as well. Okay, then second step used to become documentation over here. Okay, so requirement gathering, then documentation, and once it is documented well, then only it used to go for um, then it used to go for designing. Okay, uh, designing. And when I'm talking about designing, it means that you know, as a UI, or you know, as look and feel used to get well done by the software developers. And then when it used to get addressed, then at the fourth step, what used to happen, you know, all at the fourth step, whatever you have designed, these software developers used to code them. So coding was considered next. Okay, requirement gathering, documentation, designing, coding. And once it has been coded well, then after that, what used to happen, then after that, you know, they used to after coding, they used to test it. Okay, they used to agree, okay, now it is time to perform some testing and see that. And in earlier days, this was even never involved. And later, when software starts getting failed, you know, the leaders decided that, you know, it has to be the part of software delivery, the testing part. And once it used to get test passed, then they used to deploy it. Okay, to which we call it as a deployments. Software delivery is actually happening in the deployment phase. Once it has been deployed, it has been deployed, then only
Maintenance.
yes, support and maintenance used to be given. Okay, support and maintenance. But by the time maintenance and support used to come, and in fact at the stage number okay, so at the stage number 6, they used to realize what they had given over here. Okay, what they have given over here in the requirement gathering phase, now it has become completely outdated. Okay, it has become completely outdated. And to travel from point number 1 to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, you know, you used to see that, you know, a year has gone, sometime 2 years has gone, and whatever the requirement were given, it has become really, really outdated. The world has completely changed, and it used to go void and null. It means that always they wanted a fresh and new requirement to be ready with and give it to the new vendor. So it always has failed in the past. To address this all, the 17 software developer had to come together. But you know what I have formed over here, this used to be a also a
Waterfall
software
method.
delivery method, to which we call it as a what?
Waterfall method.
Waterfall.
Yes, waterfall method. That's right, absolutely. And you see that it flew like water in a waterfall method as well. And the delivery is still known as the life cycle is still known as SDLC, to which we call it as a software development life cycle.
Development life cycle.
Just quickly, I presented in front of you waterfall model, and because it was delaying, because it was creating the software very slow, because of that, these 17 software developers came together, brainstormed together, and they agreed on an idea to introduce something that will give a quick result to them, and they could deliver the software in a very quick responsive way. Here you read that it was delivered in a small pieces, so that it can be delivered in a way and a customer can accept them well and start utilizing them. So you see here it says that in 1990s the approach was changing, methods were changing, common practices was identified, led to the need of the agile. And when we were talking about agile incorporated this software development life cycle. They introduced various framework. Okay, those framework we are going to learn. A few of them means enhanced, like agile itself enhanced further, and they found that pair programming is needed. We need to have Kanban. What is all this all about? We are going to learn about it. And in fact, they further realize the need of the scaled agile, and scaled agile is continuously evolving and improving. Okay, so that is a quick introduction behind the agile. Any question around it that you want to really understand? Yeah, any question? I just give you free hand, go ahead and ask. If not, then we'll move something, because we have talked about the values. Okay, so what you are,
Sir, one question.
please
Sorry.
go ahead and ask.
You were talking about the agility and flexibility. I mean, agile is it defined as defined as a quickly adapt to quickly and easily. It's like how the agility and flexibility, it all comes under the agile, right? So what is the difference? Like
Yeah, the
agile
difference,
means Scrum and
yeah, difference I quickly shared that it may sound similar. Okay, agile means you go adaptable, flexibility also encourage you to do so. But these are the three elements minimum that differentiate between agility and flexibility. Can you again see them on the screen? Yeah, I have brought it back. So these are the three key elements, and that's the reason we have a separate slide for it, so that you don't get you are very much clear about it, that whenever we are talking about agility, you must consider time boxing in mind. You must considering quick delivery into mind, and that's the reason fast moving element is there. So, and then quick reaction, so that differentiates it from flexibility.
So can I assume like agility is like Scrum and flexibility is like Kanban board? Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. That's not correct.
Okay.
So we will be talking about Scrum very soon. What is Scrum, and also Kanban board very soon. But just don't assume anything over here until we explain.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Any
Thank
other
you.
question? If not, can we move to the next topic towards the values? So before we are going to talk about values, do you know, like before we start anything, say for example, the moment you might have come across Guru Schools. Guru Schools presented you 6 pillars. Do you all remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
6 pillars. So that was the context how Guru Schools runs, means what they means encourage. So that's the one thing. Likewise, when we start, we also talk about our values. Okay, and that is 6 core values, 6 code of honor. Do you all remember? We start our day with that.
Yes.
Yeah, learning with that. Likewise, even Agile have their own context. Agile has their own values. Agile has their own principle where they have written this, to which we call it as Agile Manifesto. So we will be heading towards learning of the Agile Manifesto. Let me quickly, change the slide that I have brought in front of you on the screen. Okay. In Agile Manifesto, when you will go to, scrum.org or just to open the Agile, website, you will find it talks about 4 values and 12 principles. Even if you will open the Scaled Agile, there you will find on the Scaled Agile website, there is our 4 values and 12 principles. So what are these 4 values? I want someone to read this for me, please. The first bullet. Go ahead. Don't wait for anyone. You go ahead. Unmute and speak up, please. The very first bullet. Okay. Hey, can you all hear me back?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
My net was a bit choppy, so I got dropped. Let me reshare. So I want someone to read the first, the first bullet only. So anyone, please go ahead and read this for me. Okay, again, did I get dropped? No?
Now we can see.
Okay, please
you
go
are
ahead
there.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
I hear you.
Please
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
Agile Manifesto, Agile Manifesto to backed by 4 values and 12 principles. So 4 values are first, individual and interaction over processes and tools.
Yeah, thank you for reading this out. So it says that when we are talking about Agile delivery and Agile Manifesto, understand it is not always about the tools, because you will be learning that we are using different tools. So should we give more priority to that? Of course, yes, you will give, but tools are good because to ease out those processes, to incorporate it, tools are given. But do you know, more than tools and processes, it is always interaction. If you don't interact, you won't communicate the plan, you won't be able to even execute those plans. Okay, so when you are interacting, sometimes some changes may happen, sometimes you are expecting some delayed responses, but make them happen quickly. For you, it's gonna be individuals important. So why? Because see, here the thing is that many of you reach out to us, okay, with different reasons. We just don't ask you, hey, go ahead and please follow the process. Whenever you are using Zoom link, and then only you reach out to me. Okay, you cannot reach out to us any other than training time. So we are not really encouraging that. We are encouraging, in case you have any question, please ask that. Wherever you don't understand, go ahead, ask that. And in fact, not only that, you will find many of you might have experience. We are always in touch. Go back and ask to those people who are not even responsive, and that those had been the part of batch 1, and they are not yet placed. We just seek them. What is holding you back for not moving ahead? They give their own reason, that they are stuck, they move to India or something, whatever the reason could be. So they talk about that. But we are always in touch with the individuals, and that defines, when you are going into even software delivery and you are in touch with your customer, that defines your intention, the objective, and they make your customer feel understood that okay, your objective is just not using the processes and tools, but also understand what exactly your customer is seeking. And that is the first and utmost value of the Agile Manifesto that defines. It means that the second value to follow. So what is second value? I want someone to read. Anyone please unmute and speak up the second one.
Working software over comprehensive documentation.
Yes. Thank you so much. The documentation can be huge. Okay. You have gathered the requirement. You can go ahead and talk about, okay, this will work in this way only, and software is received, it is not even responding. Do you think that should be your value, that whatever you are delivering, the way you have spoken, or the way customer tried to convey the message, whether it works or it doesn't work, it doesn't matter for you, because it had been the part of the it had been the part of what do you call, part of the requirement. You just finish and you least bothered about whether it is working or not, and you are just delivering because you had said so, we are delivering, it is not my mistake. This approach will really not give you repeated business. Okay, why I'm talking about these all things these ways, because it had been seen in the past. Okay, and it had never been addressed, and for that this value protects this attitude and gives importance to the working software. Okay, so always think of that. Okay, so then you can think of the third bullet point as well, but third bullet point address the entire relationship with customer very, very differently. And what is that? I want someone to read the third bullet point, please.
So the third one is the customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Yes, thank you so much. So it may say that, okay, customer and vendor may get into the negotiation. Okay, you have mentioned this into contract. We agreed upon this and that, and it can become never-ending conversation. Not even conversation that may end up towards the argument. Are you really valuing the business? Are you really valuing the customer? The business will only be valued when you value your customer. So always remember, it's not about the written documented contract. It's always customer. If you will collaborate with them, then only you can add value. When you are collaborating, then only you can make your customer feel understood. Why you need to do these all? For that, fourth bullet point is there in the place. I want someone to read the fourth bullet point for me, please.
Responding to change. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay. Responding to change over following a plan.
Yeah. So it's not always, follow a plan and get late. Okay. Because there are few people. In fact, you see in our, our agenda is that, you attend instructor-led training, appear in RRP session, and then appear for a mock interview. Many of people are not turning up for the mock interview. Why? Because they think that they are not well prepared enough, and they plan means they end up in planning itself, and the real game is that getting ahead to get started. If you are not getting ahead to get started, you will not ever, and you continue to think that I am not yet prepared, I need to learn a lot. No, whatever is there, some format we give, some some background we give, you go ahead and keep yourself prepared around it. So don't even hesitate until you face the first step, how you will think that you can move towards the next step. So likewise here, it's not about always the planning. You need to respond to the changes, because client is always trying to match themselves with the changing market, because the way digitalization had been introduced into the world, it has been most forgotten thing that you need to continue to adapt, evolve, and update you. So these have been the 4 values. So what is then 12 principles? So we need to know them, and you know what, these 12 principles revolve around those 4 values. So we will be looking at it. So any question around this 4 values from you, or have you understood it or not yet? Do you all follow this? Any question? You say yes if you follow this all. You understood
Yes,
these
sir.
4 values?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So let's move to the next. And for that, I want to ask Prerna if you want to take this. Okay, this we have just now discussed. 4 values. So customer, Prerna, do you want to take this? Or should I
Yes,
go ahead?
Gaurav. Sorry,
No
I'll go ahead. You take a water
Okay.
break, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just waiting for you to take a halt. Yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, these are one of the very important topics, and I would say the building blocks or the major what you call backbone of this entire topic. If you understand these principles well, you know Agile very well. It's as simple as that. Okay. So Agile Crust has been mentioned in its principles and manifesto. So that is why it is so important, and Gaurav had been explaining so much in detail. Okay. So moving on to the next set of principles. So yeah, can I request someone to read out the first pointer, please? Customer satisfaction.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Okay.
No,
Customer
you go ahead. I will
satisfaction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. Customers are happier when they receive working software at regular intervals rather than waiting extended periods of time between.
Perfect. Okay. Now, why this point is important? You remember some time back, Gaurav had very neatly and in detailed explain what is a waterfall. He drew the diagram and showed you how it is. So when we read this principle, and it states that continuous delivery or customer satisfaction to early delivery. So what it means is, when we were following waterfall method earlier, just remember this: the customer used to come to the company in January per se, and he used to ask for some work, and he used to get his project or work or software in December. This is a hypothetical example, okay? It's not a hard and fast numbers or days. So here, in between, customer was completely unaware of what is being developed, and how things are, how it is looking, how it is working functionally. And then December used to be like more or less like a shock to him, if he's him or her. If they are happy, then fine, but if not, then the entire cycle would have been repeated, very time consuming, very cumbersome, not cost effective. But here in Agile, as we are developing smaller chunks, we are developing in parts, in sprints and stuff. It's and we and in Agile, the focus is on workable software. Okay. So it's not that you're only developing and just keep working on the entire application or website, whatever you're working on in a project. But we have to ensure that whatever we are working, that is functioning properly. Like, for example, if I have to give an example of Amazon website, so imagine you all as a group have got a project for Amazon, and then you have to follow Agile. Then in such a scenario, what will happen, or what is the focus is, you as a team would pick up one functionality of that application and complete it thoroughly. So when I say functionality, that means you might complete the children's section with their all clothes, toys, books, or whatnot, and then show your client that, okay, see, this is the entire functionality. You can search for the toys or books, you can add in the cart, you can make payment, you can write reviews, everything. So you understand when we say early delivery and why customer is happy. And when we do this, customer feels very comfortable. They feel actually happy that, okay, this is how it's gonna look. And it's a very good way to get feedback as well. Right? When you show something that, okay, yeah, I'm working like this, I have completed this, and this is how it looks, this is the color, this is the theme. So in case customer has any doubts or anything to add on or upgradation or any change, you can do it right away within a couple of days or hours, and you both are good to go. Any doubt in this point? It's one of the important points. That's why I've given some example and elaborated more. Yeah, any questions? If not, then I'll request someone to please read out the next point, please.
Accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. The ability to avoid delays when a requirement or feature request changes.
Yes. So here, just try to understand all these points are interconnected. Earlier, we just learned about, that the customer is given early delivery and they are happy. And here it is saying that, sorry, one second. accommodating changing requirements. That means because you're I just mentioned feedback, right? If you remember, in earlier points, I was saying when you show to the customer, when you present to the customer what work has been done, their feedback comes, that okay, they will be like, no, I did not completely approve of this functionality in this way. You might have to add some more fields. You might have to ask these kind of questions to do customers or anything and everything the customer is asking to change, that has to be incorporated. And agile, it's flexible because it works in bits and pieces, and step by step. It's very easy to accommodate and implement that feedback. And if I have to compare this with the waterfall method, imagine if you have started working on something in January and you just show that in December, okay, and for example, and then the customer comes and say, hey, oh no, this is not I want, this is not what I wanted. I wanted a different view, I wanted different color scheme, I wanted this functionality and whatnot, So now again, it's like your entire year is gone. Do you realize the problem here?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes.
And do you think in today's dynamic environment, we have that kind of timelines? There are so many competitors to your own customers, to your own organization. So that's why in Agile, because there is a continuous feedback, it's very easy to improve the product, and it's very, beneficial for both the parties when customer gives the feedback or a company can work on it, and as they deliver, customer can approve. So it's faster, it's easier, and it's important also. Yeah, next point, please.
The next point is frequent delivery of working software. Scrum accommodates this principle since the team operates in software sprints or iterations that ensure regular delivery of working software.
Perfect. So now, as I was mentioning, these all points are interconnected. So the earlier point of regular early delivery, or accommodating feedback. So in accordance with that, this point is, so basically, when you are working in smaller chunk, that we call it as sprints, that will come in the upcoming slides, and you will explain you in detail. So when we are developing in such a manner that smaller chunks are developed, and we are presenting, so basically all this really helps you to provide what the customer is asking frequently and effectively. Now, the example what I would like to give here is, uh, when you're cooking something, and you might have guests coming over, and you have your friends or your spouse or somebody at home with you, and basically what you do, if you're cooking something for a meal or for a feast, you test it, right? Unless it's a vrat or something, you have to offer to the god. It's if only guests are coming, you normally taste it. So what is the testing part? Like, for example, you cook something and you give your partner, your husband or your wife, and then they give their feedback, and then if that is good, uh you complete that dish. Or if they say no, the taste is different, you might want to add some salt, or you might want to do this, and then when you get that feedback, you just complete that and you finish it, right? Is it practical or not? Do you do this or not? Just tell me just a yes or no. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do we do this? Why we do this? Because we want to close that work, or complete that work. So for example, if you are making per se, I'm just taking easy things like dal, and and you give it to your spouse, and they said, okay, this is perfect, and just add some coriander, you're good to go. So you just do that and you finish that task. I know this is a very layman or simplest example I could give, but in organizations, what happens when you're presenting all these to the customers in smaller chunks, and in small pieces, and when they agree, it becomes very easy for both the parties to complete the work. Now, if I have to give you a technical example, Excuse me, sorry. So, for example, for a website like Amazon, I just gave an example earlier for the same website. Assuming you have completed the children's section, and now we are moving on to male and female clothing section. So by following agile principle, what you can do is you can just show, develop that women's clothing, which is like the greatest, I would say the biggest chunk in Amazon, if I have to call it. And then you showcase or present that to the customer. And if they okays it, you complete it and you kind of, set it aside. So basically, this fastens the delivery process, and you are, as an organization, as an agile team, you are confident that the customer is happy, or you have met their expectation and deliver accordingly. So, that is why frequent delivery of working software is so much important. And this is kind of the outcome of the entire process. Okay, makes sense? Yes, no
Yes.
doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
great. Thank you so. Please call me Prerna. I really appreciate it. We don't work on the sir and ma'am culture. We all are colleagues here. So yeah. And the last point, please. Someone can read that
Collaboration.
last one.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Fourth point is collaboration between the business stakeholders and developers throughout the project. So better decisions are made when the business and technical team are aligned.
Now, this is a very, very important point. Now, thank you for reading it out. Though it looks very small, it's a one-liner, but what it says is that you don't work in silos. You don't work as an individual or personal contributor, individual contributor. You work as a team. And why it is important is, see, many a times the technical team, the development team is so driven, they just focus on the functionality and technicality and features and all that. But then many a times while they work on that, there is a gap with what actually the business or the I would say customer has asked. Okay, why? Because see, customer talks to the business or the BA people, and then BA converts that into the documentation like BRD or FSD and share with the customer, with the internal development team, and they work on it. So many a times what happens, there can be a gap in the understanding of development team about some functionality, and the expectation of the customers might be different. Okay, so customer has asked for something else, and the technical team might understand something else, and they work on that, and that is going to create a problem. That is why we mentioned that when we are doing development or going ahead with this, your first of all, your business stakeholder means everybody, not only businesses, like your internal teams, your senior management, your project sponsor, everybody, yeah, also the I would say any other vendors from where you are getting the I would say, if you're hiring the laptops or softwares from someone, if you're hiring the other things from anybody else, all these things, all these people, all these organizations, all these teams are your stakeholders. So while developing, while working on any piece of software, having to considering all these different teams or people is essential, because it is very helpful for us to understand what the customer wants, not only the technical part but the functionality also. What is he or she looking into their application? What do they want in their application? Yeah, makes sense about this? Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, great, thank you so much. Gaurav, we can go to the next slide, please.
Do you want
Yeah.
me to continue or you want to continue?
No, I'll just continue this
Okay,
one.
okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next point is, yeah, please someone read out the first pointer.
Support, trust, and motivate the people involved. Motivated teams are more likely to deliver their best work than unhappy teams.
Perfect. So do you really want me to explain this? This is a great human phenomena. Just gonna explain that when we encourage and motivate each other, we perform well. I'm not sure. You guys seen an Indian Bollywood movie called Tare Zameen Par?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Can you actually I would say associate with this? So when you have a child and when you keep criticizing it, and it actually reflects in their performance. Whereas when you start appreciating them, adoring them, guiding them, assisting them in their growth, they just grow like this is bloom, not grow, they just bloom. So same way, it's a very typical human phenomena that when you support, trust, assist, guide, show them the way, have faith in them, be with the team. This all ultimately results in a greater achievement, greater delivery, because people are happy, then they will work well. And now, even especially after Corona, people have realized, organizations have realized that work-life balance is so important. So if when your employees, when your team is happy, they will definitely deliver well or better. Okay, guys, I know we're towards the end, but I'll just complete these pointers because they are connected and they are quite easy to understand. Yeah, so I'm just stealing a couple of more minutes from you. Please bear with me. Next point, please.
Enable face-to-face interactions. Communication is more successful when development teams are co-located.
Yes. So remember, all these principles are pre-corona, but then they have their own I would say demand and understanding. So they say it's preferable or it is better when you have team face to face team. And why it is, see, I know that videos and remote is working excellent, it is going great, that's all fine, said and done, and it is working great. But sometimes when the projects are too crucial or too intense, or something very deep or very I would say high on the budget, Agile prefers, or it's recommended, it's a principle that having team face to face together enables them to work better. Because you can just now I'll tell you my personal experience, or this is the typical experience of anybody who's working on remote, like especially with Gaurav also. What happens when you are at home and working from home or working remotely, and you want to have a meeting or connect with a colleague or senior, you first ping them or you see their calendar, or that okay, what is their availability, so you can see the different time blocks. And then you will just block their calendar, send an in meeting invite. And in India, even after the meeting invite mail, you again ping them or call them separately if they are available. Check on the messenger that are they available or in the meeting. If they are available, they call or message them, hey, I have set up this meeting, are you available? Then they might say yes, yes, I'm available, or oh no, that's my free spot for some this activity, or the no, I have to rush out for something like that. And then they might agree, and then you can have a meeting. Or if they don't have the time, then again you have to reschedule the meeting. This is how remote meeting works. And in office, when you sit, what you do, you ping the person, or if you know where they sit, most of the time you just walk up to them. And if it is something small, you just talk it out there and clear the doubts. If there is something important, you can just request them. If they have time, you can just sit in some of the conference room and clear it out in a couple of minutes. Do you see the difference in both the working? Do you understand what I was trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm not saying that remote is not effective, but the thing is, sometimes it is very time consuming for a smaller discussions. And sadly, it's because it's a I would say professional setup, you just can't call someone and steal their time. You have to be very thoughtful about their schedule and their timelines, and you check with them. When we go to office, you know what happens? It's like even if you are on a tea break or a coffee break or in a breakout room, you can just go and start a conversation and get your doubts clear or get your discussion done. It's that easy. But in work from home or remote culture, it's little different. That is the reason they have mentioned it. Having face to face communication and interaction is better, or it is preferred. Yeah. Next.
Next point is working software is the primary measure of progress. Delivering functional software to the customer is the ultimate factor that measures progress.
Yes, I think we have discussed on this enough that delivering the actual software makes all the difference. Okay, so uh, it's not that you're just developing and you're taking the feedback, but then whatever you're developing and you're delivering, that has to be a working model. Okay, I just explained, if you're working on an Amazon website and you're saying that okay, we have completed the women's clothing department, then you have to ensure that all the products are displayed. Customer can glance through or search through them, customer can add them to the cart, customer can do anything and everything. They can buy it, they can return it, they can reject it, they can write review to it, they can do any and everything that Amazon as or as a application allows, entire functionality. That's why it's saying working software. That means it's just not that you are completing the development, it has to work properly without any bugs, without any error, the 404 classic error, 404 file not found. No, such kind of things should not come. Okay, this is a thumb rule for any development. So easy to understand. Yes, going to the next point, please.
Agile processes to support a consistent development pace. Teams establish a repeatable and maintainable speed at which they can deliver working software, and they repeat it with each release.
Perfect. Now you will understand more about this when we will study sprint. So basically what they're trying to say is, whatever way we are developing or we are working, that has to be in a consistent pace. That means our sprints is the duration of development. Okay, we'll come to that later. Right now just understand for this pointers explanation. Basically, if you need to complete something in 2 weeks times, so you have to ensure that you finish that in 2 weeks time, and your next delivery will also be after 2 weeks. That is why it is mentioned consistent development pace. It's not that you finish something in 1 week this time, then again for another functionality you're taking an entire month. No, agile doesn't work on that. That's why it's kind of planned in such a manner that 2 weeks work has been already assigned, and it is considered or it is checked and reviewed by the entire team. So you have to be as a organizational agile team, ensure that you are delivering perfectly after each 2 weeks. That's the sprint, and it is consistent. So it's not that sometimes you are over delivering, over developing, and sometimes you're just not able to complete. So basically, as a team, you have to ensure that you are giving the continuous, on time and required delivery, and that is why in short we call it as a consistent delivery. Whatever you have promised or what you have mentioned that you will finish or deliver, that needs to be delivered, because this is how agile works. I know it sounds a little strict, but yes, that is the beauty of agile, and that is why it is so effective. Yeah, any doubts into this?
No.
Guys, any doubts? No. Yeah, so Gaurav, I think if you
all right, so
feel we
even I'm
can.
good. So I think that we have touched the time. Went beyond time. So what I want you that if you have any question, definitely tomorrow we can talk. But I want you to go through the recording as well, because it's 4 values and 12 principles that you need to remember, and accordingly you need to work. And yeah, I want to know from you, how did you feel about today's training? What you feel like telling? Were you able to connect, relate, and understand it well? That I am going to read out in WhatsApp group. I invite all of you to go ahead and type one word that comes in your mind, and let us know in the WhatsApp group. Personally, we are going to review them. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye, good night, everyone, and talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Good night. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you.